Oh man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another great edition of No Love Philly, the podcast dedicated to artists, activists, musicians, comedians, breweries, basically anybody in, around, coming through the city of brotherly love and making this place as awesome as it is. Dude, I'm like crazy excited right now. Like I just had a really great time with one of the most amazing people that I've met in the scene. I got back from just a talk. I didn't even call it a meeting. She let me set up an interview, and I'm talking about Karen from The Fire. And I'm just so excited about what's going to happen next. We got to interview, just so that you know what's going on, we got to interview Pia Zapata, a shoegaze band from Chile. Um, and this is an awesome interview. It's in English and in Spanish. I break out my very poor Spanish, but you can definitely check it out. So that's a forewarning to anybody listening. It's very well translated, in my opinion, in the fact that anything that's said in Spanish, we say exactly what it is. But it's it's a first. It's the first time that we've ever done that on the podcast, and so like to me, that's actually really cool. But the next thing, we interviewed Pia Zapata from Chile at the Fire. And what's going on at the Fire is amazing. I spoke to Karen. Karen owns the Fire. Karen is really, quite honestly, one of the coolest people that I've met in the scene, in the sense of who she is, what she's about, what she does, what she stands for, what she thinks, what she envisions. Most importantly, what she's doing right now and what is going on at the Fire. And here's why. It reminds me. I don't know how many fans of comedy I have on this podcast, but what is going on in the Fire absolutely replicates what happened to the Comedy Store in L.A. And what happened is, is that new management kind of took over and just uh, putting things back right. This is like a 100% comeback story. I'm 100% like extremely excited to be like a part of what is going to happen next. Any way that I can help this endeavor, I want to. But really, it's just. I don't know. It's like the second coming. It's like a rebirth, like a renewal of what's to come at the Fire and what the Fire can be and what it will be, undoubtedly. If you get a chance, hit up Karen. Hit up Karen from the Fire. She's normally there. Very interesting person, classically trained opera singer, does opera. I caught her. She's sitting down. We're talking. She's talking about that she's putting together an opera about some Italian anarchists that were eventually killed, and it turns out that majority believe that people framed them. But this happened in Boston, and she's creating an opera about that, and she talked about like just her feelings of the Fire. She stepped away from it for a while, and then came back. She's such an interesting person, just a very interesting person, and like I absolutely want to interview her on the podcast. I think she's got an amazing story to tell. She's doing like I believe she said and I could be wrong, and I hope to clarify this in an interview with her. But opera classes there. Her son's an actor in New York, and she has another son that's here, and I think that they're doing like film classes. So this isn't just a venue anymore. This is a place where like you can come and take classes and do things and be a part of an ecosystem that is going to allow you to learn and eventually contribute back. And I just see so much for this place. Like I just see so much potential, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. She was so kind. I asked her if from now on if we would be able to do interviews there, and to like meet there, to have guests meet there when we could do the interview there. And she was absolutely, she said yes, and I'm just thankful for that, and I can't wait to document and to say what's going to happen next. What I can tell you is that I will be contacting her as much as possible to set up interviews from there from now on, and I'm stoked. I'm really stoked. It just feels like this is a new era and a change, and it's just something I'm excited to see, to document, to be a part of. I see big things. I really want to put her in contact with Maddie. All right, so this show we've got Pia Zapata all the way from Chile. This dude left from Jersey, went to Chile on a bike trip. Basically, never came back. That was 2 years ago. Met a girl, fell in love, started a band, brought them to the East Coast to do a small little tour. We learn a lot about like life in Chile. We learn a lot about like politics and kind of how they see the music scene here, how they see our national politics, and we learn just about like just a strong appreciation, man. And from what I've seen online, they're amazing. They're going to release a single. You can check all their stuff out on Bandcamp. Really super cool, down to earth people. It was so neat to meet people who are so excited to like be a part of this scene and to come here. It's a dream. And they made it. Imagine reaching your dream. Imagine that your dream is to do this, and you do it and you make it happen. That's freaking amazing, man. And they're awesome people. Really good stuff. I can't wait to share this with you. Shout out to the people of Chile, man. You guys are awesome. You guys produce awesome people, amazing people. I can't say enough. Such kind-hearted, like awesome, great musicians, and you guys really do it big out there, man. So congrats to Chile. I hope you guys enjoy this. Pia Zapata really represented, and I hope they come back again someday. I wish I had more time of an interview with them. All right, so next, let's get into shows. So what shows do we have coming up? You had Pia Zapata tonight, the shoegaze band from Chile. You have Mandela and Zap Goes Pop, Whiskey Effect, and more. That's going down January 25th, and Facebook tells me that Daniel's Baggerly is done. He was on our last podcast, and he's interested in going to go see Mandela from Connecticut and Zap Goes Pop, January 25th at the Fire. January 26th, you have Mega Rand's Rumble Royals Smash Bros. Tournament. That's going down January 26th at the Fire. Ooh, January 20th. Oh, we're past all of these. Those are all done. Oh, we got to get some more shows going on at the Fire. This is awesome, but they also have more stuff though. I think they have some nights that they do. Women Crush Wednesdays, I believe, is what it is, and they have women from all across an aspect of genres, I believe, is what it is. This place is awesome, man. It's on Girard. It's in Fishtown. It's a cool spot. I think it just has so much potential. I just can't, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens. It really does remind me of what happened with the Comedy Store, and you can research that if you don't already know about it. But really, just a resurgence, a rebirth, and just awesome times ahead. And I'm excited to see where it goes. But that's it, man. So I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I want you to enjoy. This podcast, and I'll see you soon, man. It'll probably be at the Fire. All right. So check.
Check 1, 2.
Yeah. So you're gonna hold that mic as close to you as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
I'll be the microphone man.
Perfect, man. So, man, I guess I should start off with Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, hola.
Hola.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Un saludo desde Chile.
So this is gonna be a super awesome podcast. I'm really excited about it. Why don't you say your name and where you're from?
My name is Pia Zapata, and I'm from Chile,
All right.
Valparaíso, Chile.
All right. So the part that excites me about this podcast is that for listeners right now, you're going to hear English and Spanish. Esta intervención es en inglés y español because they are from Chile. My Spanish is bad, and I feel like a bad Latino because some people might not know, but I'm part Mexican, and my Spanish should probably be much better than it is, but I always like to practice it. So I think this is a great opportunity to do that.
Cool.
Eso es un bien oportunidad para practicar mi español. En conversación es importante. So, Pia Zapata, you guys are from Chile.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is your second date in the United States.
Yes.
First, I have to say, we apologize for our mess. It's going to take about another 3 years to clean until we're able to clean our house a little bit más.
Don't
El caso blanco son mal pequeño porque
Yeah. Well, hopefully it's only 3 more years and that's it. That's
right,
it.
3 more years to clean. But why don't we start off with names and instruments?
Yep. Cool. So my name's Derek, and I am the drummer. I am from New Jersey, but I have been in Chile now for the past 7 years.
I'm Pia Zapata, yo soy la vocalista y bueno, yo escribo las canciones que nosotros cantamos y también toco la guitarra en la banda.
So she's the singer, and she writes the songs, and she plays the guitar.
Well, my name is Gonzalo Hernandez, and I am the bassist in the band. Between Pia and sometimes me, we make the music, but she write all songs. We are very happy to be here. I want to make a thank you to Derek and his family because they help us very so much.
So I have so many questions. Yo tengo muchas preguntas. Okay. Número uno, how did you get your way to the U.S.? Like, what got you out here? I guess pause. I already have an idea of that, so I'm gonna pause back. I want to go back there. Derek, how did you get to Chile? How did this all happen?
Okay, so I got to Chile to travel. I did a bike trip through Chile with some friends.
Motorcycle or bicycle?
Bicycle.
Wow.
And in my trip, I met Pia, who is my girlfriend. And when I met her, and I stayed there, and I've been there ever since. And I haven't been home in the U.S. in 2 years. So, for Christmas, I decided to come visit my family, and we decided to make a tour out of that. And we just doing this out of our own pocket, saved up money, and we said, yeah, let's do it. Let's play a tour in the U.S.
That is crazy. And
it's also I think for Chile, the U.S. is really important. I know it's like we're doing a lot of publicity for this tour in Chile right now, and I think a lot of times in Chile when people play in the United States, it's a big deal to play like New York City and Philadelphia.
¿Y por qué es eso? Porque en Chile y en Colombia, en mucho de Latinoamérica es muy importante o es más mejor para performar en Estados Unidos. ¿Por qué?
Yo creo que es porque es difícil llegar acá. No todos los latinos, no todas las personas tienen la capacidad de gestionar y producir y llegar a otro país tan cerrado como lo es Estados Unidos y que tiene una calidad musical también histórica muy grande. Por eso creo que tiene mucha importancia venir a tocar acá, porque históricamente la música acá, los estilos que existen acá, las bandas que han surgido de acá son tan grandes a nivel mundial que venir a tocar acá desde un país tan lejano es big deal.
So she's saying that it's a big deal because it's really difficult to get out here.
Yeah.
Number one, that's the first thing. But like, it's really big to play out here. It's like it's difficult to get out here, and the scene is really big, and it's hard to navigate because there's not very many Latinos or a network of Latinos that are going to help
Right.
in that area, and that playing here in the United States is big because this is where all the big acts come from, where the producers are, and is that did I understand
Yeah.
everything correctly?
Totally. Yeah. I think it's just in Latin America. In
You'll have to
Chile,
hold it closer. Just
we import a lot of culture and music from the state. I mean, Chile has a huge music scene. Latin America has a huge music scene, but we also import a lot, and we listen to a lot of American music from the states. So it's a big deal. It looks good. And Chile has I think has a problem where they have a low self-esteem as a country. So anytime anybody wants to be a professional in anything, like even if they get their PhD or to become a famous artist or musician, they usually have to leave Chile and come back, and then they can be famous.
really.
But to be famous in Chile alone is difficult.
So, ¿es posible de tu tiempo en Estados Unidos y tu no sé esa palabra, performance in Estados Unidos, will it build you up in Chile? Will it build up your name in Chile just being able to say that you performed in the United States?
I think it already is. We've been doing a lot of publicity. Just right now, this tour has been released in 3 newspapers in Chile.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah. And our record we have a record label in Chile, Sello Mescalina, and they've been doing a lot of promotion for us. So I think we've been doing more promotion in Chile than in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what's the idea behind that? ¿Por qué advertizar el tour en Chile, pero el tour está en los Estados Unidos? ¿Quién es por qué es mejor?
No sé.
¿O por qué es beneficiar para promotar en Chile y demás de Estados Unidos?
Yo creo que es importante en los dos lugares promover la música, no solo aquí en Estados Unidos. Pero aquí en Estados Unidos nosotros tenemos una conexión que viene desde... Nosotros estuvimos en South by Southwest y nos gustó mucho el público de aquí, de Estados Unidos, la forma en que recepcionó nuestra música el público y la gente de Austin, Texas. Was really good. Entonces creo que es igual de importante promover acá la música que promoverla allá. Nosotros ahora tenemos la oportunidad de hacerlo acá, entonces estamos muy felices por hacerlo.
Okay.
Pero creo que en Chile, primero acá porque estamos acá, pero en Chile vamos a también ahora, cuando volvamos, vamos a tener posiblemente una gira nacional. Entonces estamos muy contentos, estamos trabajando mucho.
So I understand what she's saying is she's saying that like by promoting the U.S. tour in Chile, it gets people in Chile to listen to the music to say like, oh dang, like they're in why so I want to hear this band, right?
Yeah.
And then the second part is that there's like more exposure and like things like South by Southwest and that like it kind of builds your name out by promoting the U.S. tour here. It builds your name out there, and it makes even more people in the U.S. look at you over there because your name is building over there. Is that what I understood?
Yeah,
Did I understand that correctly?
It's a bridge that works both ways, I think. So it's really this helps us out a lot on both continents. So
that is crazy. That is crazy.
It really helps us out in Chile. So.
And she said that people, when they find out that you're touring in the U.S., they get really happy and they celebrate that fact. Did I understand that correctly?
Totally.
Or
Yeah.
make sure.
People, our families are really happy for us, and our friends and stuff like that. Cause
You'll have to hold it closer. Sorry.
our friends and family are really happy for us because it's a big deal for it to come to like New York City, or Philadelphia. It's
That's
cool.
a big deal, then,
Yeah.
right? And how was your time in New York? Well, I'm curious, Mia.
We haven't been to New York yet.
Didn't I see on
Yesterday
Facebook?
we just played New Jersey.
All right.
I mean, we've only, this is going to be our second show tonight in the Fire in Philadelphia. On Monday we played our first show of the tour in Asbury Park at the Saint.
All right.
And it was awesome. We had a good time. It was on a Monday night. There was a good crowd. The other bands were super friendly, and they lent us their stuff. So it was really good community. Asbury Park, the place of Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
Like a center of music. It was awesome. We had a good time.
So, ¿es difícil para arriba en Estados Unidos o para hablar con la gente aquí? O ¿cuál es tu interpretación de Estados Unidos ahora?
Bueno, como hablábamos recién, en Chile creo que tenemos una cultura que admira mucho la música anglo. O sea, desde que somos pequeños empezamos a escuchar, no sé, Pink Floyd, Guns N' Roses, bandas de ese tipo. Por esa razón yo creo que en Chile como que admiramos y como que respetamos mucho la cultura musical que tienen acá en Estados Unidos. Es muy potente, muy fuerte. Hay otros factores también que nosotros admiramos de acá, que por ejemplo acá la mayoría de los músicos puede vivir cómodamente haciendo música, lo que en Chile no sucede tanto. Es muy difícil dedicarse al 100% y vivir, tener un sueldo, digamos, dedicándose a la música. Siempre, al menos los músicos que yo conozco, siempre tienen que estar como luchando con otros trabajos o haciendo otro tipo de cosas que lo desconcentran de su actividad musical. Ese estatus nosotros creemos que es muy importante. Las cosas son así en Chile.
Okay, so was he saying that people look up to the bands of the U.S. and that that there's a strong following and that the people there see the music here is really strong? Is that what I understood that?
Totally. Yeah.
Did I really get that translation right, or are you just telling me
No,
totally?
that's what you got. Yeah. The bands, Chile had a dictatorship, a really ruthless dictatorship until 1989. And after that, music wasn't really allowed in the country at that point. And then after the dictatorship, grunge really came and hit hard in Chile. And to this day, grunge is really like 90s grunge, like Pearl Jam and Nirvana and stuff like that is huge in Chile to this day because it was so powerful and symbolic. Because the dictatorship,
that's the era. That's the music of that era, and that era has strong memories. And
so people really gravitated towards that. So it's really important, and people look up to that. And what he was also saying that just it's tough in Chile. Salaries suck, and it's tough to live and make money as a musician. And here, I think in the United States, there's a little more opportunities to follow your dreams and be a musician. But in Chile, you usually have to have a couple other jobs going on to really make ends meet.
That's great. So for those that don't know by now, we're actually doing this podcast at the Fire, which also has its own interesting, super rad story that I hope I get to talk about sometime in the very near future. But you can probably hear bands doing sound check in the background right now. So I just want to tell people where we're at and what they're hearing in the background. What is your my question was not specific enough, probably because I was saying it in Spanish and it's so broken. But what are their thoughts on their trip to the United States so far?
¿Qué piensan
Este viaje.
sobre Estados Unidos?
But
I think people here is really friendly. Yeah, with us, with our music, and I think bueno, voy a decirlo en español. creo que ellos, como la gente con la que hemos podido interactuar musicalmente y
Really?
también con la gente que hemos podido interactuar como público, han sido
Really?
muy receptivos y
Really?
simpáticos con nosotros. No,
Dude.
sí, yo tengo, aprecio mucho eso de acá porque lo he vivido en otro contexto que fue el festival South by Southwest. También nosotros tocamos juntos, Derek y yo, el 2012 en Vermont. Tuvimos muy buena recepción del público. Entonces no he tenido nunca una mala experiencia acá con la música
Wow,
y
dude.
con el público.
Can I just say that? So, just the translation for these guys is she was saying that like that people are more receptive to the music out here is what I understood, and that people are even more receptive in public, like just in general, that the people are more like receptive, right? Is that what I understood?
Yeah.
And so I just want to point out right now that I feel like hearing you all speak and how appreciative you are of coming to the United States, of how like I guess the words I want to say, and I'm probably gonna get shit for this, but that like how spoiled we are in a sense that like Philly is like one of the roughest, most fucked up cities like that could possibly be in the United States, and they come out here and like, oh no, this shit's fucking awesome. Like, this is so cool. Like, that we get to be out here and we get to do this. It makes you think and look that, like, we have a lot of complaints here. There's a lot of things we can complain about, a lot of things, but like somebody else will come here and see like nothing but opportunity and satisfaction and happiness and a better world.
For me to come, it's my country, I'm from here, and to come back with these guys is really fun because I get to see my country through a new set of eyes. So it's really cool, and
How do you see it?
I have a new appreciation for
I want
it.
to. Yeah, I want to know that. What? Tell me more about that.
Just like it's just I see things differently that I wouldn't really appreciate otherwise, and also like before I lived in Chile, I didn't speak Spanish, and now coming back to the States, speaking Spanish, I feel like I can see different communities that I didn't see before, that I didn't get to partake in, and so like now, walking around with two Chileans, like we go places and like, hey, Latinos, hey, there's just like this brotherhood that's established straight away.
Absolutely. So let me ask this. So we obviously complain about like we got this dick in office, Donald Trump or whatever it is. Do you ever look at it and be like, yeah, bitches, but you don't have a real dictator? Like, it's much different than.
No, Chile is. I don't know. It's tough for me. They have a really conservative president too now, so it's always just fucked up. But
it'd be much different than pre 1989, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They can talk about the. Quería escuchar sobre el dictador y como nosotros tenemos Trump, pero en vez de en la luz de un dictador, es como eso.
So nosotros tenemos Trump, pero
sí.
Nosotros tenemos Trump, pero personas o la gente dice, Trump es un dictator.
Okay.
Sí, okay.
It's not the same.
Okay, all right.
No, I think we had a really hard dictator in Chile. I think changed a lot the society of Chile because the dictator. So I think Donald Trump sometimes can change like that the society here, and that's because maybe people think it's like a dictator, but bueno,
but
lo voy a decir.
From your perspective, it's like,
yeah,
and we have the opportunity to get him out.
Yo creo, yeah, you can change. In 3 years, you can change, and you have to be careful in 3 years. because can be worse. Yeah, yeah.
I love that. Jesus Christ, man. You think it can't get worse, but it can. So we've got to be careful. What? That's such sound advice. I got to say, that's such sound
I
advice.
think in a lot countries don't the people don't think a lot about the responsibility when you have to go to vote.
Jesus.
So now I think that's is uh, what when you don't vote and you think different about you want to be free and you want to be respectful for all the citizens and you don't go to vote, that's is the the esto es lo que pasa.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah, that's what's wrong, right?
Yeah,
That's the problem.
and Trump is like a dictator because he have the personality, but you don't have a dictator here because it's a democratic society, and you can change, and you have to know you can change.
Wow.
And
That's crazy. That's such a crazy thing.
I think the dictator from Chile was really hard because United States and a lot countries was trying to change the society to Chile, and T1 it's like people like Trump want to and that dictator from Chile want to change the society, and they won. So now we have um, a really conservative society in Chile, but people I'm scared about Trump because Chile is really always is are looking United States like a big father.
Okay.
And now we have a new president. It's like a little Trump, and I'm scared about that because we have a lot immigration in Chile now.
From where?
From Haiti,
Okay.
Colombia, and Venezuela,
Okay.
and the people is more and more and more racist, and
Really?
yeah, because
Crazy.
yeah,
And we're all Latinos, so that's weird
Yeah.
to think.
I know, but all the countries have the bad things.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm scared because the la derecha,
The right.
yeah, the right is more and more strong now, and people like when people like be free and respectful, be with the people. Uh, don't I don't know. I think is the Trump is not a dictator, but can be strong um, for other countries like Chile or other countries like now I don't know, like go to other countries like Venezuela. People don't know, but United States is in all the place.
I understand. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got you. So we've talked a lot about like politics and kind of how you how you view like the music scene here in the States. ¿Cuál es la escena de música in Chile? Like, what is the music scene
Music
like?
scene? Well, let's. Santiago is the capital. Santiago has a huge music scene. A lot of electronic music. A lot of like electro pop is really big right now. But we're from Valparaiso. Valparaiso is kind of like a Philadelphia. It's like a forgotten about city. It's a dirty city. It's a port. It's right on the ocean, so it has like this really old vibe to it. And I think there's a lot of rock, a lot of indie, but it's kind of has all the music in Valparaiso always has a little bit of darker edge to it. compared to
Metal's
some-
really huge.
Metal is in the south of Chile. Metal is
Yeah.
really big.
I bet.
Where, because in the south of Chile, it always rains and it's like
Dark.
It's dark. So they're big. You find some real metalheads in the south of Chile.
Awesome. So are there a lot of bars to play where you all are from? Do you guys get to play a lot of bars? Or?
In Valparaiso, there used to be a lot of places to play, but unfortunately, they're closing more and more.
Why?
It's just a depressed city. Yeah, and bars are tough, man, because they don't pay much, and people really don't want to pay a lot of money to see music.
Okay.
Like we can charge $4 for the door, and that sometimes is too expensive.
Got
So
you.
it's tough. It's tough.
Um,
But there's also Valparaiso is like the art and music capital of Chile. So there's a lot of places to play. There's a lot of festivals and stuff like that. But it's tough. I think anywhere in the world, tribute acts are easy to sell at a bar. Like, oh yeah, we'll just hire this Beatles tribute act
Right.
because people then people want to see like
And then, of course,
new
they-
music that they don't know.
and of course they love those bands, so they're like, oh, I want to go see that.
Easy
or-
sell.
Right. All right. I got you. So you almost have to sell out to play in.
Exactly.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That's rough. So let's talk about you guys' music. How would you describe your sound? Or?
There you go. We're pretty mix of like ambient pop with some rock influences, and I think what really drives us is where Pia's voice has this like really Chilean folk sound to it. So even though we have like Gonzalos's bass, which is very ambient and sometimes really hard and rocking, we have this weird folk aspect that comes behind us too that really like makes it a Chilean sound.
So what are some of the inspirations or? Yeah.
¿Algunas inspiraciones? ¿Unos músicos que le gustan?
Cyan Cake. Cyan Cake. Yo la tengo. I love this band.
Okay.
And I think my mentor, I love the music of Violeta Parra from Chile.
Okay.
She was a really strong woman and folk. She investigate a lot about music of the country. And I think I don't play folklore, but her voice was a really strong, really strong poetry. So I really like. I think she's a I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. La
Yeah.
madre.
Sí.
Okay.
Sí, ella es como la madre de toda la música chilena, creo yo.
Ándale.
Es una de las más fuertes, la que investigó mucho y que también sufrió mucho. Y eso se nota mucho en su música y en su poesía, y creo que me inspira mucho.
Got you. All right. So it inspires you a lot, right?
Sí.
So I know that you guys have to go because you got to do sound check. Do you guys have music out right now? Is there an album? Do you have out?
We just released a new single. We just recorded an album this year. It's not out yet, but
Where did you record that? Did you record that in Chile?
in Chile, with our record label,
Okay.
Sello Mescalina. But we just released one of our new singles yesterday, and you can find it on Spotify.
Was it hard for you to get signed in Chile?
No, they this is a local record label,
Okay.
and they asked us
Okay.
to be on the label. We didn't apply.
All right.
Yeah, and you can find it on Spotify. Pia Zapata, Dia de Casa.
All right.
It's
Awesome.
on Spotify right now. Yeah, so please
Where
listen.
go ahead. Where can people find you when they hear more about you?
And if you can find us on all redes sociales, on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, We are SoundCloud. We are there.
All right, so just Pia Zapata.
Just look for Pia Zapata.
Is there anything else that you would like to add? Maybe something I didn't cover.
Yo quiero darle un saludo gigante si es que hay alguien de la comunidad chilena en Filadelfia. Quiero dar también las gracias a toda la gente que ha estado muy pendiente de nuestra gira aquí en Estados Unidos. Y también agradecer a The Fire porque ellos escucharon nuestra música e inmediatamente aceptaron que nosotros viniéramos a tocar acá.
So she's really thankful to all the people. She's thankful to be here. Thankful to all the people here in Philadelphia. Thankful for thankful to the Fire for having her. And that she's just appreciative to be here. Is that what I understood?
Yeah, and she wants to say like hello to all the Chileans that live in Philadelphia.
Okay, to say hi to all the Chileans that live in Philadelphia, and
Yeah.
of course, props to the people of Chile.
Yeah.
And they're out here. She's out here. They're out here representing you guys, and I know they're gonna kick ass, man.
Thanks.
So thank you all so much for taking time out to speak to us, and we wish you all the best, man. And I hope to catch up with you and see what the response of this tour was for you all in Chile. And I hope it does something to build you up even more.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Adios.